There is nothing divine about morality. It is a purely human affair. Albert Einstein. Welcome, everyone. Take a seat at our dinner table, and tonight we'll question the moral obligations of mankind and the ethical choices we make throughout our lives. If you're familiar with the veneer theory, then you're already on board. For those who aren't, a little recap here. Veneer theory is a term coined by Dutch primatologist Frans de Waal to label the view of disingenuous human morality. It points to the mask of morality against the traditional concept that is taught throughout all religions and cultures. The prevailing sentiment is humanity is fundamentally a force for good. Well, the veneer theory stands against this while pushing back to say humanity is only as good as it is allowed to be. Attributing to Sam Harris, a neuroscientist and philosopher, we all need a fundamental standard for the comprehension of good and evil. A generalization of ethics can be obtained through the major religious scriptures which we know today. For example, the Quran, the Bible, Ramayana, and so forth. Sam Harris agrees with the opinion of traditional religions teaching the core values of morality. The question of what's good and what's bad can be understood through the Holy Scriptures. All the major religions preach that morality comes from their respective gods. Thereby, their gods decide upon the balance of purity and vile. But we see such a wide range of moral standards among different religions. It puts forward the statement, morality is not concrete, rather highly subjective. A research paper published by Aaron Zimmerman on veneer theory implies the rarity of diligence and the pervasiveness of injustice. It suggests that moral dialogue is at most a complete charade. We encourage brotherly love and demand justice and decency, but unless they are forced by laws or social norms, a person will neither show love nor respect. Even the Milgram experiment since the 1960s showed that a majority of the population choose to inflict pain upon others as long as they are not held accountable or punished for it. Morality is a facade, a socially accepted form of dishonesty. Considering the studies of anthropology and the prehistoric evidence, we can say that the primitive men had developed, over a long period of time, the bare minimum basics of communal brotherhood. Before the development of human language, there must have been a brute understanding of communal survival and the necessity of tribal unity to protect it. Sentential language made it possible for humans to build up religious, spiritual, and political organizations. They further codified and upheld the norms and values that we now refer to as morality. We acknowledge that human language introduced a fundamental change in primate behavior, cementing the beginning of civilized human society. An interesting finding in the cognitive behavior studies is that the development of moral reasoning can be indoctrinated by cognitive behavioral therapy that are designed to produce constructive changes in human behavior. It perfectly speaks to the idea that morality can be taught by society and not only religion. And the social standards of morality are entirely dictated by its culture, politics, and legislations. So how do we decide if we are inherently good as a species? What should be the defining factors that can measure the authenticity of our ethical choices? Well, that is a highly divisive question we have yet to answer, even after centuries of long and hard arguments over books and teacups. Religion says God gives us the qualities of a genuine spiritual person. He intends to help us change ourselves. Religion is intended to change fear into calm, dishonesty into humility, and enmity into compassion. It also aims to awaken man's pure nature and his love for the Creator, which is God. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, wherein God created man in his own image, this scripture means that humans are in the image of God in the moral, spiritual, and intellectual nature. The Hadith says that morality is handed down by the Almighty Himself, and thereby beyond all questions of doubt. But science often contradicts the origins of spirituality, or our sense of morality. According to evolutionary biology, we consciously learned to be honest, respectful, and dutiful to our community through the urgency of tribal survival. The primitive men formed very small groups to live as a community. The wrongdoings of one individual would put the whole community at risk of mortal danger. Professor Richard Dawkins states that our intent to survive as a species preceded the underlying morality that holds us together as a society, and thereby laid the foundation of morality which progressed and improved upon thousands of years of civilization. He, along with many scholars, refuses to accredit religion as the original source for ethics. The greatest tragedy in mankind's entire history may be the hijacking of morality by religion. Arthur C. Clarke. In the end, we, with all our collective intellect, have failed to come to a definitive conclusion about our original quest. Are we morally sound, or is it a grand illusion? What's your take on the matter? Put your vote in the ballot, and we'll reach out to you with more on the subject. You're all invited again to our next dinner table debate. Till then, live the dream. Goodbye.